Welcome to another episode of Broadcasting Seeds. I am your host, Bennett Tanton, and today we've got Michael Familant from the Shadow. You know what? I'll let you say it because I don't want to mess it up.
In
So,
the Shadow of Big Red Eyes, my show.
there it is, man. So Michael, just tell the audience, if they're not familiar, who you are, what you do, and where we can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a 36-year-old full-time Bigfoot researcher from northwestern New Jersey. Um, and I travel the country 8 months out of the year, speaking at libraries during the day and filming my YouTube show In the Shadow of Big Red Eye at night. And it's been really awesome. I've been doing it full time for 3 years now. I have a website, shadowofredeye.com, and we're all over all the social medias. So I'm not a hard person to find.
Yeah, just type it in and it'll pop up, right?
Absolutely.
So 3 years full time.
Mm.
What got you into this world of, like, I guess I'll call it high strangeness? Because it's not just Sasquatch. It's, everything that rhymes as well. So
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
got
Anything that
you
goes bump
into
in the
this?
night.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a funny story. I started out not into Bigfoot at all. I was working at a beach resort in Sarasota, Florida, which was like the best job I've ever had in my life. The boss was like, "Hey, if I want you to lock up at night and watch the sunset on the beach with the guests." And I was
Yes.
like, "Okay, you don't got to tell me to, come on." So anyways, Finding Bigfoot was on TV. I was watching Finding Bigfoot one evening, and I don't know why I was watching. I guess there literally was nothing else on for me to tune into, and I must have been really bored. So I was watching the show because it's not something that any would watch. And at the end of the program, they were like, "Hey, if you want to come out and look for Bigfoot, you can." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, you don't got to tell me twice. I am so I signed up
Yeah.
that night and I purchased 2 tickets, one for me and one for my fiance, whom I did not tell we were
Oh,
going to
wow.
go
Oh,
look for
wow.
Bigfoot. Yeah. This was a little pre-wedding
Wow.
extravaganza. So this was months and months before the expedition. I had always been an inside child growing up, never outside. So never camped, never really hiked. Put me in front of a TV screen with a movie or a video game, and I am set to go for the day. So,
Right.
anyways, um, so I had to buy all this camping stuff that they require, the tent and the headlamp and the sleeping bag and the stuff. And in order to preserve this secret, I am hiding all of this stuff in our 1 bedroom apartment patio closet. All right. Underneath the Christmas decorations. So
Wow.
she's not going to find this stuff. So couple weeks prior to the expedition, I'm greeted by her at the doorway, and she has the face on. I was very accustomed to the
Oh,
face. I don't know
yeah.
if you know
The
the face,
I
but
do.
yeah, she had that going, and she had did something that to this day I have no idea why she decided to do this. She decided to clean the apartment,
Oh, my God.
and she found all of this camping stuff. So she was like, "Mike, what are we doing?" And I said, "Hun, we are going to North Florida to look for Bigfoot, right?" And then we broke up. So there was that. So
Oh, my
yeah.
God.
So we had that little thing. So anyways,
Wow.
after the breakup, I shockingly did not want to go look for Bigfoot anymore. That was
Right.
not on my top of my priority list. So I tried to cancel the thing, get my money back, because I paid a lot of money to try to go on this camping thing. Turns out the tickets are non-refundable.
Of
Screw
course
me.
they are.
That's
Of
just the way
course.
life is happening right now.
Yes.
So I move up to Tampa. I get a job working on the ambulance for the city of Tampa, and I had 3 EMT partners. And the way I did it, the trip was coming up, and I had to pick somebody. I knew nobody in the area, so I picked the weirdest partner, and his name is Jimmy. And I said, Jimmy, I got these tickets. I got to go look for Bigfoot. Do you want to come with me? And he said, and he's my best friend to this day, he said, Mike, I've always wanted to do that. So I said, nice. So we went up to, Torreya State Park. It's a state park in northern Florida. It's very beautiful. Anyways, we get there, and there's like 60 other people there. And I'm like, good Lord, how are we going to find Bigfoot with 60 other people here? That's a little,
Excessive, right?
ridiculous. Yeah. So we camped kind of far away from everybody because we thought everybody was going to be weird. It was going to
I
be,
get it. I
it
totally
was going to be a
understand.
weekend of people watching is what it was going to really come down
Right.
to. So anyways, we camped a little farther outside everybody, and it was a great expedition. It was 3 nights, 4 days of hiking around Florida's wilderness and speaking to witnesses and researchers and everything, but nothing happened. Nothing squatchy happened to us at all until the final night. It was the last night, and Jimmy and
How many nights was it?
it was a 3-nighter.
There you go.
Yep, 3-nighter.
It's my one of my theories. But anyway.
Ooh, I like it. I'd love to hear more about that later. That's okay, good. But yeah, so 3rd night, final night, everybody else is asleep. It's like 2:00 in the morning, and Jimmy and I are up watching this meteor shower because we were living in Tampa, and we very much lost respect for the night sky. So it was this beautiful thing. It was like awe-inspiring moment type of thing. And all of a sudden, we hear, bam, a knock come from one side of camp. And I immediately thought it was the people that put on the expedition. Somebody hoaxing us, knocking on a tree, pretending it's Bigfoot, didn't think twice about it until, bam, a tree knock like a minute later in the complete opposite direction. So it's like, man, these guys got to be pretty good. About 15 minutes goes by, and all of a sudden, Jimmy and I are just talking back and forth again, like nothing ever happened. And all of a sudden, you hear come crashing down through the forest. Plunk, a fist-sized rock. Now, it was at this point in my life where I said, nope, this is how horror movies start. I am getting out of here. And Jimmy, the person I was camping with, he was like, well, if you want to sleep in the car, you're more than welcome. By the time he had said that, I had my sleeping bag, and I was just beelining it right to the car. So he comes up to the car, and he's like, Mike, this is a Bigfoot research expedition, and Bigfoot are known to knock on trees, and they're known to throw rocks. Like, this is potentially squatchy, So it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm here. Might as well experience it,
I'm here.
Why, this is what we came for. So I went back out by the campfire, and over the course of the next 15 minutes, 4 more of these fist-sized rocks came crashing down, landed 5 feet away from us. So, we all know what could throw rocks, people,
of course,
primates, Bigfoot. 3 things. If it was a person, it would. Anyways, well, let's go back to the story. So Jimmy comes up to me with the rock in his hand. He's like, Mike, I got an idea. I'm gonna throw the rock back at it. I say, Jimmy, man, I don't think that's a great idea. So he takes the rock and he chucks it back in that direction. And I knew it wasn't a person because at that exact moment, a 15-pound laptop-sized boulder came crashing out of the woods and landed 5 feet away from us. So, and that was it. That was nothing else happened that night. The next morning, we went and asked all of our 60 camp neighbors, hey, did anybody hear or see anything? And nobody did. So since this was, a research expedition, we wanted to be all scientific about it. So we're like, okay, what's the closest this thing could have been to us, right? So we did some measurements, and the closest this thing could have been 75 yards away from us.
Wow.
So totally outside of human range. If there were any monkeys living up in Torreya State Park, we would have found out about them by now. I mean,
Probably, right?
So that was
It's
it.
definitely
And
possible.
yeah, it was super cool. And that's what, those 15 minutes of rock throwing, whether it was Bigfoot or not, doesn't really matter. It changed my life forever, because now I'm, here talking to you today.
Yeah, for sure. So early on, what were some assumptions that you had that later got shattered by experience?
I didn't think there was a Bigfoot out there. That was my thing. I went into Bigfoot research wanting to know what threw rocks at us. Like, that was my goal, is why I got into Bigfoot research. I want to know what threw these rocks at us, because something did, right? Something substantial threw these
Right.
rocks. And I want to try to figure out what it was. But I came into this knowing I have a very scientific mind. So I came into this thinking, okay, if we haven't figured it out, maybe it can exist, but I'm not gonna find it. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah,
no
right.
way. That's not, I'm just going to go in the woods, have a grand old time with my friends, experience something I've never experienced before. And because being an indoor kid, I'm going to, try something new. And it turns out I liked it. And it was the second time I went camping is when we got some of the best activity that we've ever had.
Mm.
And that's what really lit the fire into me. We were about 3 weeks later, after the first initial expedition, we decided, we started talking to everybody that we could get our hands on, all the researchers from Florida. We started talking to all the witnesses that we could find, watching all the shows on TV. Finding Bigfoot was big back then.
Yeah.
And in about a 3-week time frame, we decided that we are now professionals.
Oh, gotcha.
So
Yes.
we go out by
Yes.
ourselves to Colt Creek State Park. It's in Central Florida. I'm actually going back there in like a month. I can't wait. I'm so excited to get out of the cold. But we're on like a one-night expedition, and it's me and Jimmy. He's not scared at all because he's got his 6-foot tall machete and his 10 million lumen spotlight,
Right.
that he's got
Yeah.
shining around. So we start our night hike, and Jimmy does not want to go at all, but I am dead set on doing a night hike. So we start this hike, and we get about a mile and a half from camp, and all of a sudden these lights, Jimmy's spotlight comes across two pairs of reflecting reflecting eyes. One pair is fire engine red, just like so, and the other pair aqua blue,
Mm.
which is intriguing. We didn't know at the time, but we thought it was people. We didn't realize that people don't have eye shine. We can't see at
No.
night like
Right.
our pets. We were so new at this. We had no idea. So we start yelling out to the thing, thinking it was people. Hey, we're just looking for Bigfoot, you know,
Yes.
and no
Yes.
reply, just those eyes staring back at us. So we now think that they're poachers illegally poaching animals at night. And we're like, oh, this is a great way to get ourselves shot. This is not a good
Yeah.
scenario.
Right.
So we're like, okay, we're just going to go back to camp. Sorry for bothering you guys, right? Then the red set of eyes turns and looks at the blue set of eyes, turns and looks back at us, and then blinks. Another nope moment in our lives. We
Yeah.
were
For
out of
sure.
there. But
Wow.
it was cool because Jimmy was smart enough to put a notch in the tree with his machete that we were standing next to. And we went back the next day and we did like a recreation to see, like, because we were watching all the shows on TV and we always saw him like go back and do a recreation, like, oh, how
Yeah.
high was
Right.
it, with Bobo. So I went back and I did the recreation. The eyes were about 7.5 feet tall and about
Mm.
2 feet apart from each other. So I
Yeah.
don't know. My
Nice.
rolling theory is that unless that was two owls of different species sitting on a branch that didn't exist, I think we might have saw Sasquatch that night.
Probably, right?
Yeah. So
I
that was cool.
so
Yeah.
so is that where the name came from?
No, of my show Big Red Eye?
Yeah.
No, actually, I'm glad you asked. Big Red Eye is Sussex County, New Jersey's
Mhm.
little cryptid. We have our own Bigfoot here. Like Ohio has the Grassman, Florida has the
Yeah.
Skunk Ape. We have Big Red Eye.
Okay.
The story behind that is in 1972, a state park ranger up in High Point State Park, New Jersey, was doing a patrol at night, and he saw two pairs of reflecting red eyes staring back at him. And he went back, and I guess in the shift report, he wrote down what he saw and what he observed, and he turned it in, and somehow it got leaked, and it got leaked to the newspaper. And then the front page of the newspaper, the Star Ledger, the next day, Sussex County's Bigfoot, Big Red Eye, was front page, and that's how we got his name. And it's in the shadow because we're always seem to be a step behind Bigfoot, right in the shadow of Big
Yeah.
Red Eye.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. Um, so like, because I was looking, see, I told you I was talking to Gwen the other day, and we were looking at the some data on eye shine and
Mm,
colors of alleged Bigfoot sightings, right? And in the Northeast, there's a decent amount of red. Uh, like the South, though, not a ton,
yeah.
not a ton. Not the same numbers, at least. So I'm wondering, what do you think is going on there when it comes to eye shine, and Sasquatch or Bigfoot?
I don't, I think it's kind of like human eyes. Like I know it's like different biologically and stuff like that,
Yeah,
whatever. But humans, we have different color eyes. Um, I know it's not geographically
yeah,
dispersed, but it could be with Sasquatch populations. That could definitely be a thing. And you have the occasional white eye shine, or the that could be, people could have like really crazy color eyes too. Sometimes it's not
absolutely.
common. um but yeah, I think that could explain it. Some people obviously think that they can produce the light and have the eye glow. Um, some of my best friend Bigfoot researchers have seen this firsthand. I've not seen it, so I I don't necessarily subscribe to the theory that they glow,
Yeah,
just because I've never seen it. Just like Bigfoot, I don't know Bigfoot's out there 100% because I've never seen a Bigfoot.
right. So you've
Yeah, I
never
wish
had
I
like a Class A sighting
never.
or anything like
No,
that?
everything but. I've
Right, right.
footprints,
Yeah,
vocalizations, whatever have you, but but I've never actually seen one.
yeah, wild, man.
Yeah.
Um, so my theory, I brought it up earlier, is and it comes from the a lot of the research that we do in Allegheny is for my experiences, the most activity that we ever have is on that third night. It's
Mm,
like they get comfortable with us being there because we're not aggressive in our, we're just camping, and essentially,
sure.
and walking around and checking stuff out. But we do a lot of our, we've always found that it's just the best um, experiences we've had is because we just were sitting around the campfire
Yeah, absolutely.
and waiting. And I mean, once in a while we'll let out a hoot or we don't really do that much anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe a little knock here and there, but not again. It's not all the time.
Hmm.
But then I have my local research area where every time I go out, I have something happen.
Mm,
And there's not like second night, third night, first. It's always whenever I go out there. And
mm,
I think that's because they're used to me going out there.
sure.
So I think there's a population. Who knows? Because I don't know. I mean, now I've had a Class A sighting, and I'm a knower. I'm not a you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I know there's something there. And now I don't know what that is.
Mm.
I'm not going to be it's a you know undiscovered hominid or it could be, sure, but it could
Mm.
also be a Nephilim. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
way
Nobody
that I look
knows.
at it, I'm open to all of it. I straddle the camps,
Hmm.
and I've been able to do that for quite a while. So that's how I go. Um, what about you? You're open to all theories and everything, and you probably have your own, but
Yeah. Well, uh, yeah, as a researcher, I think you have to be open to the possibility of all theories. You can't if I think Les Stroud has a Les Stroud has a quote. He says something along the lines of evidence is great, but you can't dismiss the best evidence, or something along
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
lines.
right,
Like,
something like that.
but yeah, I'm a biological dude. Along those lines, I think Bigfoot's here on the planet like a chicken or a duck or a turkey without any extra
Woo,
woo capabilities,
right?
which, but here's the thing. And this may put me at a disadvantage, I guess, if you will, or maybe it's at an advantage. I don't know. I am totally open to the
Yeah,
possibility of something else happening.
absolutely.
L- Listen, I spent I spend a lot of time in the woods. This year alone, I tent camped 139 nights just looking for Bigfoot.
Yeah,
And I find myself in some of the deepest and most Bigfoot rich habitat. If there was a Bigfoot out there, this is where they would be, which happens to coincide with a lot of other cryptids across the
of
country.
course.
And I cannot say that I've come across anything that I can't ascribe to be related to Bigfoot.
Yeah,
Mothman, Mantis Man, dog, all the mans, ton of mans.
all the all the man's right.
Yep, yep, Frogman. I think that's a song though. But yeah, I don't know. Again, open to the possibility if a dog man stepped in front of me, as terrifying as that would be. I wouldn't dismiss it as some people would and say, oh, I didn't see that, or that was just I saw
Yeah,
something
right.
else. I think, like I said, as a researcher, if you have the ability to keep your mind open, if you're not dead set in that mindset
Absolutely.
that some people have, which is unfortunate. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
People get
You,
dogmatic,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
and
you have to
I
evoke.
I find it that it's a little limiting and or disappointing sometimes when people are just like, oh, they're so dead set on it, and it's just like, okay, that's fine, but
It's like
again,
having a conversation with a dull person.
mhm.
You ever done that? You ever? And it's just
Oh,
like it's just kind of
yes,
like you want to you want to, like, I don't know, I'm very high energy. I very like I have, like, I don't know, I think a lot, so I like to talk to people that share that same kind of energy. And some people that are just so close minded, it's like, man, if you're just so set on it being a biological creature,
hmm
then how what else are you set, like, I don't know. My
yeah,
mission, one of my the reasons why I do these library presentations and why I do the touring is what I do is to try to invoke mystery in people, and keep and try to open up minds. And we as humans, we have a great sense that we know everything.
Of
And
course.
the fact is we don't. I mean,
Yeah,
I
we don't
think
know
everybody
shit.
can agree with that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's my motto, by the way. I don't know
Perfect.
shit.
Yeah. No, and it's and as people, we don't. We're still
No, we
discovering
really don't. We don't
things.
have a clue.
Yeah. So that's why I do what I do, and I've gotten some hate mail from it, some haters from it,
Of
but
course, of course.
what are you gonna do?
So now you brought up earlier that you uh, have been an EMT.
Mm,
Um, and so I guess I'll put it this way. And I've got many witnesses describe like an overwhelming sense of dread that they'll get. And we even get this in Pennsylvania and here in New York and other places I've been.
mhm.
Um, Now you've experienced, I'd say probably dread and emergencies as an EMT. Have you ever had the overwhelming sense of dread happen to you out in the woods? And like, how does that fear compare?
Once. One
Besides the
time.
part when you're like, nope, I'm good. And I'm
Yeah,
going
no,
into
no,
the car.
that was no comparison.
Right.
And I'll tell you, this happened a couple years after I was into Bigfoot research, and at this point in my life, I was extremely comfortable in the woods.
Mm.
And especially on this trail that I was going to hike that night. I did it a week prior. I've done it, I wouldn't say hundreds of times, but tens of times I've done this trail. I could do it upside down, backwards, day, night, blindfolded. I'm cool. Not a problem. Anyways, get dropped off at the trailhead, and it was a one-way hike. I didn't want to go back and backtrack because it was kind of long. So, um, was gonna get picked up at the other end, and I got about a quarter of a mile the way into the hike, and something hit me, not physically, but
Oh, yeah. Okay.
emotionally.
Yeah. Yeah.
That it was like you described, an overwhelming sense of dread. There was a defining statement that I should not be in the woods right now.
Yeah. You need to turn around and go back to where you came from.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
I looked over, and there was a tree break not there the week prior. I would have
Gotcha.
saw it. It was like right over the trail. I would have saw that thing. Not a question about it. So I called my buddy and I was like, "Hey, uh, you gotta come pick me up." He's like, "What? You're joking? You finished already?" I'm like,
Oh,
"No, no,
wow.
no, no, no. Yeah, the trail where you just dropped me off." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Dude, I'll tell you in the car, but you gotta come back." And
Yeah.
I, and I'll tell you, it's the one hike that I've never finished. I've always finished my hikes except for that one.
Wow.
So I don't know what it was. I can't tell you. I think it was infrasound, and I think it was Bigfoot zapping me, if you will, and
Yeah.
saying, "Get out of here." And I'll tell
Mhm.
you what, I was researching Bigfoot, and I knew that this was probably Bigfoot doing this infrasound. Like that's how like that's the point of going out in the woods, is having this kind of activity and having this experience. And I hightailed it out so quick. Oh, it wasn't even. I was running through that woods, getting
Oh,
out of
yeah.
there.
No, I know the feeling. I've been there. I know
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And it's
I
just, if you've never experienced that, it's very difficult to explain.
Absolutely.
Like just the hairs stand up on the back of your neck, and just it feels like a cold wind just took all your breath away.
Hmm. Man. Well, absolutely. Do you believe Bigfoot is actively covered up or like just quietly ignored?
Yeah, I don't think the we're talking like the government type thing.
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like
the
that.
G word.
Government,
Yeah.
institutional avoidance, whatever you want to call it. Whether they're, there's so many theories, as you know.
Yeah, yeah. So
But
I
do you? What are your thoughts?
I try not to get into it because it it doesn't align with my philosophy and my mission statement
Yeah, it
of
can
why
get
I got
super
into it.
distracting.
It is. But since you asked, I think Bigfoot is definitely known. If Bigfoot is out there, the government knows about it.
Of
The
course.
problem with that is I don't think they're spending X amount of money trying to hide Bigfoot. It's not on their. We got better things to do in the grand scheme of the United States of America than worry about a couple thousand Bigfoot that are probably just running away from people at best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then you got the whole, if the government is going to acknowledge the existence of Bigfoot, what does that include? That includes preserving an endangered species, which is going to, especially in the Alleghenies, you're very familiar with all the logging they do there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's going to stop.
Yep.
And guess what? That's never going to stop. It's one
So
of them. It's
yeah,
especially look at the Pacific
the economic
Northwest
impacts would be
it'd be crazy.
yeah, you couldn't recover from it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, unless somebody literally Harry and the Hendersons and it's a news reporter in a news van streaming down the road, I think it's going to be very difficult for Bigfoot to get acknowledged and,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, I find that it's, usually like experienced hunters, first responders,
mhm,
military folks. First off, they report encounters totally different than like civilians will, right? And but I also believe that they're more hesitant, obviously, to talk about it in a lot of instances. And I think that I would also put like folks that are lumber, like a lot of the professions where their livelihood is based on
yeah,
being out there, right? I think they hesitate a lot to talk about it. Have you
yeah,
come across
absolutely.
that?
Absolutely. Yeah. I've talked to, well, it just kind of the same notion. When I first got into Bigfoot, I told literally nobody. It was me and my buddy Jimmy, and we kept it on the DL because we're working as EMT capacity,
Yeah,
taking care of people, and while eventually it got out and got leaked that we're the Bigfoot people, and it was cool, nothing
yeah,
crazy became of it. um it I did try to hide that for a long time, and now I mean, there's no hiding the fact that I'm just a Bigfoot fanatic.
yeah,
um but yeah, I've talked to, definitely, when you get sightings from military personnel, and you said that the way they report their sightings, and just speaking with somebody in the military that has witnessed a Bigfoot is not like speaking to anybody else. It's
yeah.
a
True
very
story.
cool it's a
Yeah,
cool feeling.
yeah, for sure. Um, so do you think we're dealing with one phenomenon or several that might get, since we were talking about all the mans, right? All
Yeah,
the men,
yeah.
several that get lumped together as Bigfoot.
Like, what do you like?
Like, I mean, so obviously, I mean, I'm not necessarily talking about species differentiation, but
Mhm,
like, I have obviously, I think Bigfoot from the like the nor like the like ones in Alaska are different than the ones in Florida.
yeah,
Meaning, it's like the difference between a Florida black bear and an Alaskan black bear,
right.
right?
Perfect.
But
Yep.
do we have other, like you brought it up, Dogman and whatnot, and maybe you haven't had any encounters, but do you feel like there's something else there necessarily that might also get lumped into this?
Personally, I think it would be extremely difficult for North America and the United States specifically to be home to one cryptid, let alone multiple. Um, I think it would be, I mean, and the skeptics got it right. If an 8 foot tall bipedal Bigfoot does roam the woods of North America, why haven't we got a good picture of it yet?
Yeah,
Hey,
right.
hey, that's freaking true. That is a very valid
Yeah.
point. And we all know the reasons why we, have it, and we could spew them out like a
True.
book. Um, but I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
It, it's one of those things, like, it's hard to go there, right? I know I feel it. Where it's kind of like I'm wrapped up enough with one thing, right? And now my
Mhm.
show, I cover all the things. It started as
Yeah.
a Bigfoot show, but now I cover everything. And
Mhm.
but the only thing I actually like research on the ground is, I would say, Bigfoot stuff.
Yeah.
Because I can't get away from it. I just
Right.
can't. Like, I
Yeah.
just go out.
I'm the same
But
thing.
but
I
with
try.
that comes a lot of paranormal stuff too
Yeah.
that I investigate. And it's kind of by proxy. I don't even mean to. It just happens.
Yeah. A great way to investigate Bigfoot overlaps with a lot of paranormal techniques and vice versa.
Hmm.
Um, Personally, I've done 3 paranormal investigations in my life, and, I am solidly noping the rest of them, because, they scare the crap out of me. I would rather look for an 8-foot tall bipedal Bigfoot
Is that really
than
funny?
something I can't see.
Wow.
And there it is, I said it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I don't feel the same way. So it's just because I've had some experiences that they were intense, right?
Mhm,
And they were but it wasn't scary to me. Just like the whole deal. Now, let me clarify the Bigfoot. I've only been terrified once in the woods, and it was
okay,
because I was like, "Oh, you're so stupid. Why did you do this?" And I was by myself.
mhm,
I can tell you a story another time. My audience has heard it enough, so
yeah,
um, like, damn, like, why did I just put myself in this position?
mhm,
Um, but I never really it doesn't linger. Like, it doesn't make me like not want to go out in the woods, like you just
yeah,
said. Maybe seeing like a dog man like 10 feet from me, like standing next
yeah,
to a tree, like Scott, who Scott Carpenter was,
yeah,
of course, right?
mhm, yeah,
And that one picture that he's got of like that dog man looking creature, like hanging from the side of a tree, like
mhm,
looking right at the camera.
yeah,
Now it's fuzzy and everything,
yeah, of
but
course.
like that, oh my God. I don't know. Like, I get chills thinking about that right
I
now.
see you're getting worked up just talking about it.
Ooh, like that. I don't know why, but that gives me the willies.
Yeah,
But I've got like pictures of like a rake, right?
yeah,
That was like from the campsite next to the one that we stayed at. And it's definitely something, right? And you're
uh-huh,
just like, okay, let's go walk out in the woods and see if we can find this thing. Like,
mm,
it's weird
it is.
for
It
certain
is
things,
weird.
but not others.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I fundamentally for me, with the intradimensional and the UFO aspect and shape shifting and stuff, it's very difficult for me fundamentally to explain an unknown with another unknown. I've had a hard time morally doing that,
Yeah,
you know?
I do. I do. I do understand what you're saying. Um,
It's just the more you layer, it's like an onion. The more you layer it, the deeper you get into something, and sometimes it's not as it's that's not the solution, you know?
yeah, definitely. So what do you think, like, people that are that want to get into, like, right now, like, things are changing in the community too a little bit, right?
Yeah.
What people that want to like do this type of stuff or just get into it, what do you think they should do? Like, how would someone go about getting started in this this
This
wacky world, right?
crazy,
Yes.
yeah, crazy thing. Well,
Bottomless pit of the Bigfoot world.
it's an endless void for anybody that's looking to get into this thing. Let me tell you, it's ask any researcher, it is something else. But if you're interested in getting into Bigfoot, you probably are doing the right thing as it is right now. You're listening to podcasts,
Yeah, true
getting
story.
your feet wet and kind of diving into the knowledge base that you need to. From there, you want to probably start talking to some people. Every Facebook or every state has their own Facebook group. So if you're on Facebook, you can find the state and say Bigfooters, and it'll come up. And I moderate a whole handful of them. So if you need any assistance, reach out to me and I could help you and find a legitimate researcher from that state,
Hmm.
somebody that doesn't have two friends and has been out in the woods one time. Look for somebody that everybody's talking about, or again, if anybody has any questions about who they should go out with or not go out with, ask away. Just ask somebody, ask your friends, ask me, it doesn't matter. um and then once you do your research and homework, watch my YouTube docu-series called Squatchables. It's a free YouTube series, which you gotta check out. It's an 11-part series about how to get into Bigfooting 101. uh, Tell you how to hike, how to camp if you've never done
Awesome.
either of those things, all the way up into really in-depth stuff like track casting and evidence collection, all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
So, and
So,
then do it.
how has this research changed the way that you see nature itself? Like
Oh God,
forest,
man.
wilderness, and silence. Silence.
Yeah.
Like, wow,
Yeah, you have a different respect for silence after being in the woods and not hearing anything for an extended period of time. It's amazing.
it is amazing.
Um, it it like I kind of touched on before. Um, it's I on paper should be sitting on a street corner in an ambulance in the city of Tampa right now. That is what I should be doing, but I'm not. I've made this not only I've turned a hobby into a journey, into a career, into an empire, really. And it's changed from I don't play video games anymore.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I
Like
do.
I can rub two sticks together and make a fire sometimes. Like I wouldn't depend on it. Like don't don't hold me to that, but I can sometimes do that, which is kind of cool. Never thought I'd be able to do that ever. I like fishing. Never thought I'd be into that. Hiking, a physical activity. What is that? Never thought I'd be into
Yeah,
that
right.
thing,
Like you said, you were an indoor kid.
Yeah,
Like that
yeah,
was it.
yeah. But now I 139 nights just last year. I'm doing on track to do 100 more next year, and it's we're hitting 17 states. We have 19 festivals and conferences already lined up, and we're adding libraries daily to the
Yeah.
list. So it's just amazing.
So
It's
you
it's awesome.
basically talk at libraries by day
Hmm.
and then film and research by night.
Public speaker by day, explorer by night.
It's amazing. Um,
It's messed up.
no,
It
totally get it. Yes, for
it's
sure.
doesn't work. It shouldn't work, but it does somehow. I don't get it.
Do you think this is a big question, but I
No, I
just think
don't
that
make a lot of money.
no. Do you think humanity um has lost something by believing we've already mapped and cataloged everything?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's just putting, like we kind of talked about, putting a cap over your head, and the Sula and the Okapi and the zebra are
Yeah,
all
right.
animals that we didn't know about until very, very recently.
I mean, even like the mountain gorilla. So that's like
Yeah.
one of those big ones, like, and the panda. Like
Mhm.
you don't realize it now. Of course, there's been legends for decades and hundreds
For
and
sure.
blah blah years or whatever, but no Western eyes had ever seen one until, like the 30s.
Yeah. Yeah. But with that question, you bring up a very great point. Um, if you asked me that question 5 years from now, my answer would be very different than it is today. I think within the next 5 years, if Bigfoot is out there, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna know if there's something out there. if Bigfoot's not, if we don't have Bigfoot on paper in 5 years, I don't think Bigfoot's out there. And I say that with a grain of salt. I hope that's not the case.
Yeah.
I think we can always be imagining and looking for something, but with the technology that's going to become readily available to citizens and the price that's just dropping on it, get me a thermal drone and I'll let you know if Bigfoot's out there. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Come on.
Right.
But it's just I can't afford one because, like I said,
I don't make a lot of money.
Don't make a lot of money.
Right. If Bigfoot were proven tomorrow, though, what other like assumptions do you think would collapse right after it?
Ooh, there'd be, I mean, it uproot everything.
So much, right?
The way science looks at things is going to be uprooted. It's going to be turned upside down because we've now cataloged something that it says not only that we didn't know about. It's one thing to be like, oh, hey, shit, there's something new there. We're saying this doesn't exist, and then all of a sudden we're gonna approve that it does. Like that's
Right.
that's a whole nother level of whoa factor. So that's gonna change everything. It's gonna take my thought process of explaining an unknown with an unknown and saying, okay, well now we've got a known. What's gonna be the next unknown? Now we got to figure more out about Bigfoot. What is Bigfoot? Now we know Bigfoot's out there. Now let's figure out what is Bigfoot.
Yeah, for sure. Deep wilderness or edge of civilization? Like, what do you think's the best place?
Ooh, I've never been asked that. I like that question.
Yeah.
You want, okay, so do you want my honest answer or do you want my Bigfoot researcher answer?
Of course I want your honest answer.
Okay,
and maybe your Bigfoot researcher as well.
Bigfoot researcher answer, I say, just like you guys do, when you go out in the woods, go to the deepest, darkest place that you can possibly find. Don't bring a camera, don't bring a cell phone, bring a chair, bring a couple friends, don't talk, no lights on, have a good time. That's how you're going to get evidence of Bigfoot.
Smoke cigars, do whatever.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep.
Yep. For sure. But that unfortunately makes a very poor Bigfoot show. I found out the ratings on that episode dropped very drastically.
For sure, right.
The honest answer where I look for Bigfoot is since I do this touring the country thing, I do everything mostly solo. I have a manager and she's awesome. However, I do most of the stuff by myself. The bookings are all done by myself. All the editing's done. So I personally camp on the edge of civilization where I have cell phone service.
Yeah.
Most of the time I'm in a campsite, which I hate to even admit, but when you're on the road for 20 plus nights at a time,
I get it.
I need to shower.
Do you just use a tent?
Tent camp. Yeah.
That's it.
Tent camp. I got an air mattress, so I'm a little spoiled.
Gotcha.
Got to say.
Little almost on the glamp side, right?
Well, I won't tell you. Then I definitely won't tell you I have a heated blanket. So don't even go there.
I have a rooftop tent.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it is awesome. It's freaking phenomenal. It's the easiest thing ever.
They're cool. Yeah.
They are. And you could heat it and everything. It's pretty awesome. Agreed. So yeah, it's one of those things with that question, that deep wilderness, edge of civilization. It's I think it's almost equal sightings reported in both. So, I mean, obviously, if you think about it, like if you look at like the Bigfoot Mapping Project, right? Is a great website. Mm-hmm. And he's just got one of the most active areas in the country is right outside Pittsburgh. I mean, it's just, there's sightings there all the time. It's wild. So
that area is a very unusual area, I will
And I
say.
think Pennsylvania now has surpassed Washington as the number one sighting
Oh,
state. If
wow.
I'm not from, it's very
Yeah,
close. If it's not, it's very
that's
close.
awesome. Wow. Um, yeah, totally agreed. Here's the thing, though. You need to have two, like, I think Montana, high Bigfoot population, I think, personally.
Very
But
few sightings though.
the
Yeah.
numbers just not there.
Yeah.
But why? Why do you think that? You need to have two things to have a Bigfoot sighting, a person and a Bigfoot. Without either of them, you're not gonna have a sighting.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's why,
Because
like,
there's not a ton in
Canada.
Alaska either because
Yeah,
people aren't out there.
exactly.
Right.
Canada, Alaska, there's got if Bigfoot's out there, gotta be a
Yeah.
ton of them.
Yes.
Gotta be. Look at, just Bigfoot sighting maps and like we were just talking about the Bigfoot mapping project, overlay that with bear sightings or bear habitats. They're almost the exact same.
Yeah. Which is
So,
gives you a little bit of,
yeah, it makes you it's not it's kinda almost a red flag for the skeptics
it
who are like,
is.
"Oh,
Right.
hey, wait a second. That's a misidentification all day, every day."
Yeah. But
You know? But
it's
it's
hard to
just
say.
because I think Bigfoot and bears eat very similar things.
Agreed.
That's why they live in the same areas.
Agreed. What's your favorite state to go out?
Yours, New York.
New York?
Yeah, my favorite place is, and I may get a little flack for it, but, I love Whitehall.
Oh, yeah.
Whitehall
It's
is,
just
I
gorgeous there.
one, I mean, come
Come
on, you
on.
can't beat how gorgeous it is.
But let's be honest too, it's from Canada to New York City, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, the whole
That whole
corridor.
Champlain River Valley is
Yeah,
just, well, Champlain Lake, whatever you want to call it.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
freaking amazing. It's
yeah.
so gorgeous. And it is prime territory.
And it's squatchy. That's the problem with it is we go up there. I've gotten I guarantee you that a squatch threw rocks at us in Whitehall. No
yeah.
question about it. Got it recorded. It's on the YouTube channel. Check it out. It's no question about it.
And I'm not saying that there's active suppression there at this point, but
No, no.
people keep quiet about it. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, it made headlines for a while. They have the festival there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's it.
Yep. Then the
That's
rest of
it.
the year, there's nothing. It's
Nothing.
very quiet. Yep.
I
Yep.
think that's by design.
Yeah.
So
I think you may be onto something with that statement.
yeah, for sure. So if people take one thing away from the shadow of Big Red Eye, what should it be?
So, it's not I'm gonna answer that kinda differently because it's I don't want people to take anything away from my show. Obviously, I have a mission statement for the show, get people off the couch and into nature. That's my why I do presentations, that's why I have the show. Um, back in the 2nd season, I believe it was the 2nd season or 3rd season, back in the day, I've been doing the show for 10 years, but, I think it was in the day where you could actually send a message on YouTube. So I got a message
Yeah,
from
right.
somebody. Remember that?
Yes,
That
I
was a
do.
thing. And I got a message from somebody and they said, "Hey, I I have this new chronic lifelong disability that unfortunately I cannot no longer get into the woods and go research Bigfoot like I used to for 20, 30 years. I found your show and I want to thank you because I now live vicariously through your show.
Wow, that's awesome.
That is why I do what I do.
Yeah.
It's not about finding Bigfoot. It's about the journey. It's the journey that matters. It's about getting there, you know? It's about those nights sleeping in 40-degree weather with an inch of rain in the tent because your rain fly blew off and you can't find, it's
Yeah.
those nights that are the nights that you remember and that really make the most for the journey. It's all about the journey. It's not about the finale. It's really not.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the name of the show is Broadcasting Seeds. And I like to have the guest um plant some seeds in the audience's mind before they leave.
Absolutely, I love that. That's a really cool concept. I leave every presentation. If you've never seen one of my presentations, you're missing out. So go to my website, shadowofredeye.com, check it out. All my appearances are on there. I'm coming to a city near you next year on my Beyond the Footprints tour. But I leave every presentation with a quote that's near and dear to my heart. And that quote is life with the possibility of Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster is far superior to one without.
I love it.
There it
Yeah, hell
is.
yeah. Um,
Take that on however many levels you want to take it as, because
Absolutely.
there's some,
No, I think
there's
that's
some
amazing.
peeling back to that one, but
I love it. So,
yeah.
tell the audience too what you were in New York City yesterday. So what happened? Like, what were you able to? You were there for? Did you show a film? What did you show?
It was actually a book release party. A
Oh, no.
publisher re-released an old Bigfoot book, and they showed an old '80s horror Bigfoot movie, Night of the Demon,
Wow.
which was really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And we had a Q&A session afterwards from from people from New York City that are interested in Bigfoot, and we had a great turnout. And it's definitely you never would expect to see a squatcher in Times Square. I'll tell you that much.
It's wild for sure. I can imagine. I can imagine.
Not in my element, outside of the element for sure.
Yeah, but you got to see the sights, so that's cool.
Yeah, it was neat. It was neat. A lot of people, man.
So I guess one last question, and it's not. It just kind of hit me, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask it. Um, so do you think Bigfoot is less about discovery and more about humbling humanity?
I think that's up to the person who is into Bigfoot. Take it how you may. There's a lot of different levels and you could take to anything. Being an outdoorsman, you could be into take hiking for example. I'm a slow hiker. I like to stop and look in and smell the flowers,
Agreed.
right?
Yeah.
There's trail runners out there that just run and that's what they like to do. That's not my thing, right?
Mm.
Take Bigfooting however you want to take it as, mold it into however you want to shape it into your philosophy and however that makes your life and your imagination and your MO of life molded better, then do it. For me, I'm not the one that's gonna that's trying to find Bigfoot every day. I'm not actively out there 100 million hours out of the. I mean, I guess I am, but I'm not.
Right.
I'm not like I'm not. If I find Bigfoot, that's gonna be icing on the cake for me, because I've already the game has been won for me since day one, since I started this journey. So, but other people take it as that's their MO. We have got to find Bigfoot and we're going to be scientific about it. Lights off. You ever been in the woods with one of them? Red lights
Oh yeah.
only,
Red lights
no
only, all
talking.
the things.
Yeah, I'm not
Uh,
me. Not
I
me.
wouldn't be attracted to that if I was a Bigfoot. I'm just saying. That's why that's literally why we sit around the campfire, because we just act natural, and we don't even react a lot of times when
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
happens, and that's just the coolest thing ever. So
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, all right. So tell folks again where they can find you. What's the best place, and where are you trying to drive folks to?
YouTube. Go to my YouTube, subscribe, check that out. We have a new episode that comes out every Monday evening at 7 o'clock, which means if you have been listening along and can do math, I have a ton of episodes for you guys to check out.
Right.
There's like 400 plus episodes on the YouTube channel.
Wild.
So check that out. We have an awesome Instagram. We have we just got a TikTok.
How's that going?
I'm not in charge of it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
got
really.
you.
It's not
I'm
my
not
thing.
either. I'm not in charge of mine. My daughter does mine for me.
Good. Yeah, good. That's awesome. Probably
Yeah.
for the best. But yeah, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We're big on Facebook. But check out the YouTube channel, In the Shadow of Big Red Eye, Sussex County Bigfoot NJ, and the website, always updated, has my appearances, where we're looking for Bigfoot witnesses, if we're looking for any help with the show, if you want to be a part of the journey, you can be. Check it out. It's www.shadowofredeye.com.
Michael, it's a pleasure, man.
Dude, this is awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. And anytime you got anything new going on and you want to come on and shout it out, just let me know.
You'll be the first one.
Awesome.
Fades to black. There's a whisper in the timberline, like something's watching from the back. I didn't come here looking for anything to chase or prove, but the night's got ways of speaking low when the leaves begin to move. And I'm just walking through the pines where the truth don't draw a line between the stories told and the secrets time won't find. Yeah, the woods keep what they know, and shadows and its signs, and I'm still searching, walking through the pines. Started out with a skeptic's heart, just a camera and a light, but the rocks came falling one by one in the silence of the night. Then that feeling settled in my chest like a storm about to break. You don't forget the sound of fear when the ground begins to shake. Now I'm just walking through the pines where the truth don't draw a line between the seen and felt and the questions in my mind. Yeah, the woods keep what they know, and shadows and its signs, and I'm still learning, walking through the pines. Some say it's flesh and bone, some say it walks between. The world we know is real and the ones we only dream. And maybe the journey's worth more than what we'll find. Sometimes the answer's high to keep the wonder alive. So I'll keep walking through the pines, let the stars redraw the lines between the faith we hold and the questions of our time. Yeah, the woods keep what they know, but I don't mind the signs, 'cause I found meaning walking through the pines. Out here where the road runs out and the night wind softly sighs, I may never know the truth, but I'll keep walking through the pines.